history nonprofit. We're 13 years old, and in the past 13 years, we've traveled to all 50 states. We've recorded 65,000 interviews with ordinary folks across the country, and we've archived all of those interviews at the Library of Congress. And they comprise the largest single collection of human voices ever gathered. And most folks know us because we share an edited story from our archive every Friday on NPR's Morning Edition. And on our weekly podcast, we also publish book collections, and we also produce animations. And I know I don't have to convince anyone of this today, but we believe that storytelling is transformational, and that's what drives a lot of the work that we do on multiple levels. We believe that recording an interview is transformational. We're giving folks an opportunity to have meaningful conversations with people who matter to them. We believe that building an archive is transformational because we're creating a people's history of America that includes voices that have been historically omitted from the public record. And in doing so, we're transforming our history and also hopefully transforming our present. And we also believe that sharing stories is transformational for listeners. And we're hoping to humanize important issues and create a more just and compassionate world, which is increasingly important and increasingly difficult in our current political climate. So in all of our efforts, whether it's archiving, recording, sharing, we hope to represent America demographically in a number of different ways. So we use census data to guide our outreach to different local partners in the communities that we're recording in. But recording and archiving is not just about proportional representation because, of course, not all communities to begin with have equal self-representation in our existing media narratives. So we do have special initiatives to reach out to those communities and to amplify voices that have been marginalized. We have an initiative for LGBTQ folks across the country. We have had initiatives for Latinos, for African Americans, as well as a number of other projects. And specifically what brings me here today is that a number of us at StoryCorps have been doing research about our outreach to Muslim and Arab American communities. And obviously these are two communities that have significant overlap, but are also often conflated. And so part of what we're hoping to do is deconstruct that conflation and also amplify the vast diversity of experiences within those communities. So that led us last year to host a panel at StoryCorps for all staff with some amazing Muslim and Arab American storytellers. We figured that the best way for our staff to learn about ways to help other folks self-represent would be to have folks in the room who are doing that work in their own communities. And so that helped to continue and to launch what we hope to be some great conversations amongst our staff about the ways that we can help amplify voices from those communities. And to give a brief example of what this might look like, early last year when 3 young Muslims were killed in Chapel Hill, we aired an interview that one of the victims, Yusur Abu Salha, had recorded a year prior. We'd searched our archive and found that she'd recorded an interview with her teacher. And we were able to, after her death even, hear from her about her experience of being a woman and being Muslim in the United States. And of course it was powerful and resonant in a way that was tragic. But I think it humanized a story and allowed for a moment of self-representation that I believe and I really hope shifted hearts and shifted minds. And I really hope that it won't have to take a tragedy like that, of course, every time for us to be able to share those stories and to humanize those narratives. So on behalf of StoryCorps, I'm really excited to be here and to learn and to listen. That's one of our greatest values at StoryCorps and one that we should espouse at the organizational level, to show up and to listen to the great work that people are doing in their communities. So I'm honored to be here and really excited to continue the conversation. Thank you.